An engagement ring, also known as a betrothal ring, is a ring indicating that the person wearing it is engaged to be married, especially in Western cultures. A ring is presented as an engagement gift by a partner to their prospective spouse when they propose marriage or directly after a marriage proposal is accepted. It represents a formal agreement to future marriage. In most Western countries, engagement rings are worn mostly by women, and rings can feature diamonds or other gemstones. The neologism engagement ring is sometimes used for an engagement ring worn by men. In some cultures, including Northern Europe, both partners wear matching rings, and engagement rings may also be used as wedding rings. In the Anglosphere, the ring is customarily worn on the left-hand ring finger, but customs vary considerably elsewhere across the world. History: Ancient times. Although the ancient Egyptians are sometimes credited with inventing the engagement ring, and the ancient Greeks with adopting the tradition, the history of the engagement ring can only be reliably traced as far back as ancient Rome. In many countries, engagement rings are placed on the ring finger of the left hand. At one time it was believed that this finger contained a vein, the vena amoris, that led to the heart. This idea was popularized by Henry Swinburne in a treatise of spousals, or matrimonial contracts, 1686. The story seems to have its origin in the ancient Roman book Adachnites by Aulus Gellius quoting Appian's Egypticorum, where the alleged vein was originally a nervus. The mid-7th century Visigothic code required that when the ceremony of betrothal has been performed, and the ring shall have been given or accepted as a pledge, although nothing may have been committed to writing, the promise shall, under no circumstances, be broken. In 860 AD, Pope Nicholas I wrote a letter to Boris I of Bulgaria and replied to questions regarding differences between Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox practices. Pope Nicholas describes how in the Western Church the man gives his betrothed an engagement ring. The first well-documented use of a diamond ring to signify engagement was by the Archduke Maximilian of Austria in the Imperial Court of Vienna in 1477, upon his betrothal to Mary of Burgundy. This then influenced those of higher social class and of significant wealth to give diamond rings to their loved ones. During the Protestant Reformation, the wedding ring replaced the betrothal ring as the primary ring associated with marriage. In Catholic countries, the transition took place somewhat later. During the Age of Enlightenment, both the Gimel rings and Posey rings were popular, although the latter was more often used as an expression of sentiment than to indicate a formal engagement. In South Africa, diamonds were first found in 1866, although they were not identified as such until 1867. By 1872, as production increased, those of lesser means were able to join in on this movement. In the United States, the popularity of diamond engagement rings declined after World War I, even more so than after the onset of the Great Depression. In 1938, the Diamond Cartel de Beers began a marketing campaign that would have a major impact on engagement rings. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, the price of diamonds collapsed. At the same time, market research indicated that engagement rings were going out of style with the younger generation. Before World War II, only 10% of American engagement rings contained it. In the early 21st century, the jewelry industry started marketing engagement rings for men under the name engagement rings. In the 20th century, if he could afford it, the typical Western groom privately selected and purchased an engagement ring, which he then presented to his desired bride when he proposed marriage. In countries where both partners wear engagement rings, matching rings may be selected and purchased together. In the United States and Canada, where only women traditionally wear engagement rings, women also occasionally present their partners with an engagement gift. Like all jewelry, the price for an engagement ring varies considerably depending on the materials used, the design of the ring, whether it includes a gemstone, the value of any gemstone, and the seller. The price of the gemstones, if any, in the ring depends on the type and quality of the gem. Diamonds have a standardized description that values them according to their carat weight, color, clarity, and cut. Other gemstones, such as sapphires, rubies, and emeralds, have different systems. The jewelry may be chosen to honor a family tradition, to use family heirlooms, to have an unusual style, to have socially responsible characteristics, to fit the individual stylistic preferences, or to manage cost. Engagement rings, like any other kind of jewelry, come in many different styles. Gold, available in yellow gold, white gold, and rose gold, and platinum are preferred for engagement rings. But common metal types such as titanium, silver, and stainless steel are also used for engagement rings. This allows for the bride to exert her own individual style into the ring in a simple manner. Citation needed. Tradition generally holds that if the betrothal fails because the man himself breaks off the engagement, the woman is not obliged to return the ring. This reflects the ring's role as a form of compensation for the woman's damaged reputation. Legally, this condition can be subject to either a modified or a strict fault rule. Under the former, the fiancé can demand the return of the ring unless he breaks the engagement. Under the latter, the fiancé is entitled to the return unless his actions cause the breakup of the relationship, the same as the traditional approach. In the historic Christian traditions of Catholicism, Lutheranism, and Anglicanism, engagement rings are blessed by a pastor. It is worn by the couple during the betrothal rite. In some countries, it is common for both men and women to wear engagement rings. The rings are often in the form of a plain band of a precious metal. Sometimes, the engagement ring eventually serves as the wedding ring for the man. In Brazil, for example, the groom and bride-to-be usually wear a plain wedding band on the right hand during the course of their engagement. After the wedding, the band is moved to the left hand. In Argentina, it is also known for the groom and bride-to-be to wear a plain silver band on the left hand while engaged. Then, after the wedding, the silver band is either replaced with the wedding ring or moved to the right hand. Traditionally, women in the British Isles may propose marriage to men during a leap year. Women proposing has become more common in recent years, to the point that some jewelry companies have started manufacturing men's engagement rings. They resemble typical men's rings, often with a diamond centerpiece. In the countries where both sexes have traditionally worn engagement rings, the rings tend to be plainer bands, and there is no real difference between men's and women's engagement ring designs. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching.